The log loading ramps slide into the rectangular brackets along the idle side of the mill. 2 brackets on each bed section permit you to select the best location for the loading ramps. Stops on the ramps are spring-loaded to prevent logs from rolling backwards. Remove the loading ramps before sawing. A 4-foot cant hook comes with the optional Pro package. Assemble the water lube option by sliding the black vertical extension into the rectangular slot atop the mast. Attach the water bottle to the platform with elastic straps and hooks. Take the clear tubing and attach one end to the spout of the water bottle and the other end onto the black shaft on the blade guide arm. The log taper wedge slips over a bed rail to help level logs. The blade is critical to good lumber production. It must be sharp, properly installed, and aligned. The proper handling and installation of a blade contribute to good lumber production. Your blade may come coiled in 3 loops. Hold the blade in your right hand with the teeth pointing outward toward your fingers. Drop 1 loop at a time until a loop drops clear and wants to open, and grasp the blade on either side of the X and raise your arms and spread them apart to uncoil the blade away from your body. To recoil the blade into 3 loops, hold the blade in front of you with your arms raised wide apart. Blade teeth should be pointing up into the air. Swing the blade downward quickly, then stop. Hold your wrists firm as the blade flexes over, then rotate your wrists inward toward the inside of the blade. As the blade coils together, cross your hands. Inverting the blade is required only if you maintain your own blades. Hold the blade on the smooth edge with the teeth pointing at you. With your hands over the top of the blade, push the blade downward with your thumbs, then rotate your wrists inward. The upper part of the blade should dip down, and watch out as the lower part of the blade comes towards you when it inverts. To install a new blade, open the blade housing covers. Move the blade guide all the way out. Release the blade tension by turning the handle of the blade tensioning device counterclockwise. Feed the blade around the drive side wheel first, and then the outer wheel. Be careful not to damage the teeth when installing blades. Center the blade on the wheels. The teeth should point toward the operator side. Close the blade housing covers. Turn the blade tensioning device clockwise to compress the rubber spring. See how the blade wheel moves out to tension the blade. Check the blade tension occasionally when adjusting the cant control or while cutting. Continue tensioning the blade until the black indicator is flush with the washer. Spin the blade by starting the engine and pulling lightly on the clutch handle so the blade positions itself on the wheels. Position 32 mm wide blades so that the gullet is 3 mm out from the edge of the blade wheel. Adjust the cant control if necessary. If the blade is too far in, turn the cant control clockwise until the gullet of the blade is the correct distance from the edge of the wheel. If the blade is too far out, back the blade onto the wheel by turning the cant control counterclockwise. Whenever the sawmill is moved or reassembled, adjust the frame legs so the sawmill appears level. As long as the sawmill incline is less than 10 degrees, you'll be fine. Tie a string to the ends of the first and last crossbar on the drive side. Place identical spacers under the string at each end of the mill and measure from the bed rail to the spring. Adjust the frame legs so that all the bed rails are in line and the measurement is the same. Move the string to the idle side and repeat the procedure. Measure the distance from the string to the bed rail, adjust the legs, and then remeasure. Pay particular attention to the measurement at the auxiliary bed rail. You may need to readjust the auxiliary bed rail to ensure that it is level across and measures the same distance to the string on both sides. Move the sawhead over a bed rail. Measure the distance from the bed rail to the blade on the outside and the inside of the sawhead carriage. The measurement should be the same. To raise the outside of the sawhead, go to the drive side upright and loosen the 4 top nuts, and then tighten the 4 bottom nuts in quarter-turn increments. To lower the outside of the sawhead, loosen the lower nuts and tighten the top 4 nuts in quarter-turn increments. Ensure the measurement from bed rail to the blade is the same on both sides, and then tighten all the gem nuts. A 13 horsepower Kohler engine provides the cutting power for Wood-Miser's LT15 transportable sawmill. To start the engine, turn the run-stop switch to the run position, close the choke by moving the choke lever to the start position, and pull the rope slowly until you feel resistance. Then pull quickly. You may need to repeat with the choke open slightly. Turn the run-stop switch to the stop to shut off the engine. Let the engine run for 15 seconds with no load when you're finished cutting. The LT15 is equipped with an electric engine of power 7.5 kilowatts. Before loading a log, raise the side supports to prevent the log from falling off the bed. Position the saw carriage to the front end of the frame and make sure the log clamps are all the way down. The spring-loaded ramp stops prevent logs from rolling back down the ramp while the operator gets a new hold on the log with the cant hook. Remove the ramps before sawing to prevent possible damage to the sawhead when cutting small cants or logs. If you didn't purchase the optional log loading ramps, use boards for ramps or log loading equipment. Position the clamps against the log far enough down so they are below the first few cuts. Turn the clamp screws in so they move the log firmly against the side supports. Adjust the side supports low enough for the blade to pass over them. In order to position the cutting head, use the crank.